Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. You're here with me, Jen Ochnen, a former run-on Duncan gal turned integrative health practitioner. And I just hope everybody, at least my US-based folks, everybody had a great Labor Day weekend. We had my stepson, he came home from Arizona to spend some time with us this weekend, which was amazing to see him. And we had the whole extended family together. So it was a lot of fun. And then yesterday, I'll be honest, I spent a lot of time working, but it was a good type of work because it was this no pressure, just things that you always want to do. But, you know, it has a different vibe to do it on Labor Day. So actually, I really enjoyed it. And I was working on catching up, loading emails, loading YouTube from these lives, and then thinking about topics for the next 15 days, because I can't believe it. This is really episode number 16 for me. I committed to 30 days of wellness lives, and two reasons really. One is that I wanted to get over my fear of going live here on LinkedIn, because let's face it, y'all can be a little intimidating. Number two, I had been looking for a way to interact with everybody a little bit more differently, have some fun, be less prepared in the world of AIs and brushed photographs, all the things. I wanted you guys just to get a better feeling for who I am and what I'm all about. So, hey, Jorge, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. So if you are just joining for the first time like Jorge, I am an integrative health practitioner. Think of me as like a holistic health coach. I look at the whole person. I create results. Primarily, my signature program is for women 40 plus, helping them lose weight, balance their hormones, and relieve the crazies so that they can feel healthy, sexy, strong, and confident. Because all of those things, when you're feeling those things, when you show up that way every day, obviously you're going to be happier and more successful both in work and life, right? So again, episode 16, I can't believe it. And it's been absolutely fantastic. And I really appreciate all the support. Another reason why I did this actually, and I'm going to do a separate post on this, I think, is that I'm part of a women's mastermind group. And I have a business coach. She's amazing. Her name is Kinsey Mackus. And she had us write down, like, say, our goal for August, because this all started last month. And she's like, okay, now I want you to triple that goal. And she said, how do you feel about that? And of course, we all went, triple the goal, right? And then she's like, okay, but let's think about what would it take to get there. And it's all about using the concepts of 10x is easier than 2x. If you guys haven't seen this book, I highly recommend you pick it up, because when you think about it, if you have a goal and you just want to kind of 2x your results, what do? You maybe can just get there by working harder. Or maybe there's just infinite ways you can get that 2x growth. And there's just so many ways to do it that you never really settle on one. But if you want to 10x your business, right, there's a lot fewer choices. And it's really going to be a complete shift in what you're doing to achieve that. And so I was thinking, okay, what can I do to 10x? And going live on LinkedIn just was a no-brainer for me as one of the things. The other one is to create a new masterclass, which will be out in 2 weeks. So here I am. And I've been doing a lot of episodes, kind of nerdy, sciencey episodes lately, but the ones that I love, and which is why I got into integrative health, been talking a lot about hormones, and not just estrogen and testosterone. I've been talking a lot about insulin as it relates to blood sugar management. I've been talking a lot about cortisol as it relates to stress and its impact on blood sugar, our thyroid, and the rest of our hormones, right? I've been talking a lot about detoxification, things that, you know, how it actually works in your body, how you can support your body's process to do that, and why you should do that to help you live longer and healthier, right? So today I want to switch gears a little bit. And Jorge, I appreciate you being here. And if you are watching this on the replay, can you go ahead and put hashtag replay in the comments? I would appreciate that. And as always, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments as well. I'll either answer them now or I'll go back and answer them after the live stream is posted. So I really wanted to talk today about this concept of getting, hi, Haled, thanks so much for joining. This concept of being healthy versus getting fitter, up-leveling your fitness. Because they're really two very, very different things. And diet culture can be very toxic. And I really try and make sure that if you've hung out with me, you've watched any of my lives, you've seen any of my posts, you know that I'm not about that. I'm really about taking a balanced, healthy approach, not only to weight loss, but to your nutrition, but to stress management, and really thinking about this as a lifestyle, right? If you reduce toxicities, if you restore deficiencies, if you figure out the root cause imbalance in your body, you can heal it, right? You can heal it. You can heal yourself. You can feel better. But whenever I talk about weight loss, you know, so many things come up, right? You've tried a million diets, things have failed. Maybe you cut your calories in a very extreme way. Maybe you had a trainer or a coach tell you to do that, which if you're a woman, please never go under 1,200 calories. Just do not do it, especially if you're 40 or over, and never just give up carbs. That's a whole nother issue I think I already talked about. But the diet culture can be very toxic. And it can also have a lot of masculine energy, which guys, don't take offense. Love guys, love the guys, love my husband, love the bro culture. I have so many work brothers and stuff that were amazing, but it can switch the energy where it feels a little bit too masculine, sometimes a little bit too toxic. Because when you think about the words getting fitter, what does that mean? Or even in my part of my bio line, healthy, strong, right? What does being strong mean? Getting fitter. It means that, there is an element there of fitness, right? There's an element of strength. There's an element of working out involved. And, to up-level anything in your life, you have to have willpower and discipline to do it. And somewhere along the line, willpower and discipline got associated with toxic diet culture. And I'm not really sure how these things happen, but I think one of the things that I help my clients do is I help them find that balance between when they have to show up for themselves and they have to put in the reps and they have to put in the work and the effort, versus times when we really do have to rest and relax. Because I deal with a lot of clients here that are overly stressed, right? I talked about stress, cortisol, right? Your fight or flight reflex is going on all the time, right? And they need to ease back. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you don't have the willpower and the discipline to execute on the plan that we come up with when you join F to F, right? Fatigue to Fabulous 90 Day. And you still have to execute on that. So I think, we have willpower and discipline in so many areas of our lives, right? Why wouldn't we apply that to themselves? And it's not a new concept. If you want change, you have to do something different. You have to stretch yourself. And yes, at first it's going to be uncomfortable. Do you know how nervous I was on day one of doing these lives? It totally stressed me out. I'd never really used StreamYard before except being a guest. So you've got new tech, which tech can always go wrong, right? And it's not that I didn't do a good job, but because it was new and I was stretching that muscle of creativity and presentation and sharing my thoughts and myself with my audience, it was uncomfortable. So you have to work through that feeling of uncomfortability. 25-cent new word today, but you got to work through that. It's like, well, think about it. When was the last time you had a big work project, right? And you had to lay out a plan and you had to have steps to that plan. And you had to, at each point in the process, maybe you had to report out on that plan and, you're executing to it. willpower and discipline. Discipline to stay on plan, willpower to see it through, even working on it when you didn't feel like working on it, right? So putting in that effort. And when you think about, I guess I'm going to talk about 3 things here. 3 points that are important when you're up leveling your fitness. And the first one is doing what you love might not be enough to up level you so that you can get more fit. What does that mean? Well, a lot of clients come to me and they say, Jen, I'm already eating really healthy. I'm eating this, this, and this. I love avocados. I don't use canola oil. I'm only doing grass-fed, beef, all the things. Great. And they talk about other fun foods that they like to have. Terrific. But they're coming to me because they're not getting the results that they want. So when I give them back their plan, yes, it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be complex, but it's strategic, right? It's strategic because you have to be strategic when you want to burn body fat and you want to increase lean muscle. So just eating healthy all the time with no plan isn't going to give them, my client, you, whoever, me, the results that you want, right? Just by, if you want to, so I'm going to give myself as an example, right? So I'm going to be 50 in October, and the way my hormones and things are changing, I've taken a strategic look about how I'm working out and I'm changing things. Today was the first day that I went to a Pilates instructor using the reformer, but it was a small group. Very, very different type of workout. It's not yoga, but I like to say it's yoga adjacent, right? Because you're working on flexibility and you're working very, very different muscles, but it's a beautiful way to ensure that you have strength, you have flexibility, you have good posture, right? I've taken away HIIT style workouts and put this in its place. HIIT style workouts, very intense, right? And I love them. Oh my gosh. I had a HIIT class that I loved it. But too much stress on the body, too much jacking up my cortisol levels, just, and then pushing too much blood sugar in and just getting me all jacked up all day. It's just too much. So no HIIT, now Pilates. I'm also lifting in a different way. Before, when I was lifting fairly heavy, like for a girl. A lift like a girl can be really strong, right? So, but a lot of the women in my classes, I'm just in all seriousness, they're using, 8-pound weights, 12-pound weights, 15-pound weights, right? I was using, say, the 18 to 20s. I've always been fairly strong, good muscle memory. But they were doing a lot of like HIIT things in between. So now what I've done is I'm bringing in heavier weights into the class and I'm just lifting heavy. And when they're doing these little HIIT bursts, I'm doing some extra reps. So I'm lifting heavy because you do lose muscle tone as you age, right? You lose muscle mass, you lose bone density. So it's really important to do strength. So my workouts now are Pilates 2 times a week, lifting 2 to 3 times a week. And I'm adding in daily movement with my walking and incorporating in some Peloton bike because I love it, but I'm not doing HIIT style workouts, right? So very different. So I should get a different result, right? And think about it. Think about a diamond, right? A diamond is only created when coal is put under pressure, time and pressure, willpower and discipline. You get the diamond, right? We all want to get that diamond. So doing the things that you love, you can still do them, but you're going to have to do some other things. And you're going to have to do it strategically if you want to change, right? So that's number 1, the first point. So Kathleen, hey, Kathleen, thank you so much for joining. Just like in business, exercise, you must get comfortable being uncomfortable, have to push yourself. You never see the results. Yes. I wouldn't say push through the pain because I'm all about people not hurting themselves, but you just push through the feelings of being uncomfortable, right? I know where you're going with that though, Kathleen. So let's see. The second point I want to talk about is eating, the first one was doing what you love might not be enough. Second one, eating just healthy might not be enough. And this is different because if you're brand new to starting a new routine or brand new in my program, or you haven't tried losing weight, you could make some small tweaks and have these great results. Like being brand new to a program, being on the first month of a program is phenomenal. Being a beginner is awesome, because if you were doing a lot of stuff before that was not serving you, and all of a sudden you're making these great tweaks and you're moving your body and you're eating more plant, bang, you're going to get some great results, right? It's exciting. But you have to do it strategically, and you have to add in other things, or you might have to consider other factors. And I'll give you an example on this. So my point is the first 10 pounds, right, can be kind of easy as compared to the second. It's just true, right? Because once you lose that first 10 pounds, that's the easy stuff. And then you got to get tighter and tighter, more strategic. You got to be challenging your body in different ways. You can't get into a rut. Or a plateau, right? And that's what I tell my clients when we come in each week and we're talking about how things are going. If you're really stuck, then I kind of go through this checklist. And so I had a meeting just recently with my client, Sarah. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. And she said, look, I'm feeling stalled out the last couple of weeks. I said, okay, let's go through the checklist. Let's check your, MyFitnessPal. Are you eating to plan, right? Not only into target with her calories and her macros, but what are you eating? What type of foods are there? What's missing? Have you been getting your daily steps in? What has your stress level been? Have you been taking little breaks? Have you been doing the meditation? How is your sleep? You know what we found out? Number one, now, Sarah's a little bit different. She's in her 30s. She's just had, she's 8 months out of having her second baby. And she's super, super stressed for time. And so what we decided is that she was only working out really one time a week, swimming and doing some walking, but she wasn't tracking her steps at all. And I said, girl, look, it's time. I know you don't want to wear one of these, but it's time to get some sort of pedometer, right? We have to know where you are with your steps. We have to know where you are with your daily movement. We're going to have to increase your workouts to add a little bit more in terms of strength, right? So we rework that piece. And then she said, you know what, Jen? I know we've talked about this before, but it's really, I'm sure it's my sleep now, because she needs alone time during the day. And she doesn't get it because she's with the kids all day and she's working all day. And then she's doing all the things at night and laundry and the husband and all the things. So she stays up later to get that alone time. And what's happening is she's getting like 5 to 6 hours of sleep at night. And that's not enough. And she's getting it much later. If you look at the practice of Ayurveda, Ayurvedic medicine, they say, look, the optimal times for sleep when you want to get that good, deep hormone reset, your blood sugar reset, that restorative sleep really is between 10 and 2. And I know a lot of people are going to bed at midnight. They're going, really? Yeah, well, she was going to bed a lot later. So not only was she not getting enough sleep, but she's kind of missing that restorative window. So by tweaking those two things, changing things up, she's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but she's going to be getting the results that she needs, right? So number one, I'm just going to reset the room here. Hey, Jeff, thanks for joining. So what we're talking about today is really, if you want to up-level your fitness, you're going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable. Okay, a little bit of real talk today. And so I have 3 points I'm going over. The first point was basically doing what you love might not be enough, because if you're doing what you love and you're not getting the results, you got to change something, right? And the second point is, especially if you want to be fitter, then just eating healthy might not be enough. Okay. Now, the third point that I want to talk about today, and then we'll close out, is you're going to have to do the thing when you don't want to do it. Willpower, discipline, and yes, a dash of accountability. Let's add that in, right? Because a lot of people come to me because of accountability. But let's think about this. There are some things that you just have to do in life, right? You go to school, you got to get to class. You got to study, you got to take the test. You go to work, you got to get your requirements in, right? You want to be a citizen in this country, you got to pay your taxes, right? These are not things that we all love to do, okay? Sometimes you're just going to have to put in the reps, because if you want to be healthy, strong, sexy, feeling fabulous, the road to get there is not always sexy, right? It's not sexy necessarily to put in the reps. It's not always exciting. It's not all this fabulous, selfie moment. I don't take a lot of gym selfies. I am not one of those chicks in the gym where you walk in and they are all the hair and the makeup and the nails and the outfit, and that is not me. You would not recognize me in the gym, okay? My hair is either up in a bun or in a ponytail. There's not a lick of makeup on my face. I've got some, I don't buy fancy workout clothes. I'm sorry. I go through them too fast. I go to Nordstrom Rack, one of my favorite places. Occasionally, I will indulge in something like if someone gives me a Lululemon gift card. I just don't see the point. I am in there to work, right? I'm not in there looking for a date. I'm happily married, right? So when I go in the gym, I am there to work. I'm there to put in the reps, right? You're going to have to be disciplined. That's why, it's so funny. And I really think this is going to happen. Oh, Kathleen, I'm telling you, I'm in Atlanta. You should see the gym. There are some chicks in there. They're there to meet people. And they look great. Don't get me wrong. They look great, but just that's not me. So anyway, what I was saying is that basically you got to ask yourself at some point, if you're not getting the results that you want, are you the problem? Are you standing in your own way? Are you a member donor at your gym? Does anyone get that? What a member donor is? You sign up for one of these gym contracts, so you can't get out of it. And so you go for like 2 weeks. This is that New Year's January syndrome, right? People go to the gym for like 2 weeks. After that, the drop off is amazing. And then they're stuck in their contract. So they're member donors because they're not going. They're not going anymore. Don't be a member donor. You're paying for that. You've committed that money. Get some use out of it, right? Get some use out of it. And there's a lot of times when I had somebody say the other day, I just don't have the motivation. I need you to give me the motivation, Jen. I need you to do that. I can't give anybody motivation. I can tell them I'm going to be tracking their MyFitnessPal and looking at their minutes, and I'm going to be asking about them on their coaching session, but I can't give them motivation because we all have it deep inside. You pull it out for different things, right? There was an example that I heard recently on a podcast. It fits here perfectly. So your mom, right? Say your mom, your parent, be anybody, mom or dad, doesn't matter. And you're home and you're working from home. You're exhausted. It's 3 o'clock. You'd really love a nap. A nap. But your kid's at school. You got to go pick them up. What are you going to do? Are you going to leave little Jimmy at the corner? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to get up and you're going to go get your kid. Right? I hope so. The teacher's going to be calling you. But you can do that. You can do it. So the discipline is there. It's just about, are you applying it to your goals? And that's when I ask my clients who say, why are you doing this? Why do you have this goal to be more fit? Right? I mean, if you're just trying to maintain where you're at, then yeah, you can let some things slide. And even when you are in that mode where you're up-leveling your fitness, there is a balance towards going out, sticking to the plan, doing the plan, and then knowing when you need a break. And I can advise on this, but this is something that you need a little bit of self-awareness on, and that you're going to learn this. You're going to learn that right balance. So for me, it's, I never go more than one day without putting in a workout where I'm sweating. I can miss one day and I can have a rest day. I'm probably still moving. I might still be going for a walk, but I'm not hitting it at the gym, right? But I don't like to go more than one day. Vacation's different, because if I do that, then it's 2 days I haven't gone, right? And then it's that third morning waking up saying, wow, I really got to get my butt back in gear, right? But if it's that third day, then you start putting it off. The book Atomic Habits, if you guys haven't read it, it's one of my absolute favorites. They talk about this a lot. Don't ever go any more than 24 to 48 hours missing your habit, because it's really going to set you back, right? So the point is that you've got to find that. Now, accountability is fantastic. So I give accountability to my people. Getting a gym buddy, right? Scheduling a workout with a friend, right? You'll get up, your alarm goes off at 5:30 and you're going to make that 6:30 spin class or lifting class. If somebody's there waiting for you, yeah, you're going to make it. Nobody's there waiting for you. And it's, January 15th and it's, 0 degrees out. I grew up in Maine. It's cold. You're going to hit that snooze or stop and you're going to roll over and you're going to go back to sleep. Right? So you have to do things when you don't want to do them. You've got to put in the reps. If you want the change, you've got to put in the reps. It's as simple as that. And again, I'm not talking about perfection here. And I am all about making sure my clients, I'm making sure all of you know when to rest, know when you need that. But again, that's something that you really have to figure out for yourself with practice. You might err on the side of caution too much, but it's like when you start a new workout or a new routine, you might go, these people in January, they're joining the gym. They're going to go hard. They're going to go hard for 2 weeks. They're going to go hard for 2 days, and then they're not going to be able to move for 3. And then there you go. They're out. Right? So you got to be smart. I always start my people, especially if they haven't worked out a lot, I always start them small. I say, okay, how many steps are you getting in a day? Good. Keep that up. I want you to increase that by 500 to 1,000 steps each week. And we're going to get you to a point where you're getting 8 to 10,000 a day. And if you're super serious and walking is, really walking is totally underrated for weight loss. It's phenomenal. If you can get up to 15,000 steps a day, I guarantee you're going to see results, right? Phenomenal. But you just got to elevate. You got to understand where you're at. And I'm going to meet my clients where they're at and progress up from there. Does that make sense? That makes sense. That's really all I had for today. But just remember, are you the reason that you're not getting where you want to be? And if you need that help, if you need that accountability, I am here for you. This is what I do for my clients every week. I got 3 client appointments right after this. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do their checklist, go through how they're feeling. We're going to adjust some things. And then I'm going to send them off with an adjusted plan and a new inspiration, a new motivation to go do what they need to do. So F to F 90-day signature program for women is open right now. September is an amazing time to join. September, October, November, boom, 90 days. You come out, you roll into December, feeling great. December is a stressful month, right? Year end, making your number, making quota, getting budgets in, finishing employee reviews, presents, crazy relatives, kids, getting the tree, getting through Sukkot, all those things happen. But if you enrolled for September, by the time December hit, you could be 10, 20, 30 pounds lighter. You could have some great habits established, some great tools. So you're feeling good, have a great routine, know how to manage stress, and you can be feeling joy, happiness, feeling graceful as you move through the season versus feeling like a hot mess, totally stressed out and gaining 7 to 10 pounds. You could be just maintaining your weight and enjoying all the things, all the parties, all the holiday cocktails that are so cool. Or you can even do that and still, maybe drop an additional couple pounds too. It's totally possible. So if that sounds good to you, send me a message and let's talk about it. Doors are open now. I'm enrolling new clients. Fall is the time. It is the it's the number 1 time of year for my clients to get started. And I'd love to help you on your journey. So that's it for today. I will see you all tomorrow. And thank you so much for joining. If you have questions, please put them in the comments. If you found value in this, please share it. Repost with your thoughts. Tell your network why this was good. Again, I'm just trying to get out here so you guys understand who I am, what I'm about. You get some great tidbits so that you can start your healthy journey. And then if you want to work with me, send me a message. See you guys all tomorrow. And remember, it's Tuesday, not Monday. Take care, everybody.